So the display we have today represents about 70 artists. We have their visual interpretations, and we also have some really beautiful poetry. I invite you to take a close look at their work because you'll leave very inspired.
Just about every year, luckily for us, the Falmouth Education Foundation has funded a grant project in which we are, Lauren Kenny, the AP English teacher, and I are able to take our students out into the landscape, put their phones away, get their sketchbooks out, and really take notes on where they are and the world around them. We've been going to Brewster, and we've been going to Monomoy, we've been going to Provincetown and Eastham, and these places that they're not necessarily used to, and they're really able to kind of get a fresh look at Cape Cod. And if you read their notes from the field trips, they really were paying attention to the time and the day and the weather, and those notes influence their writing and influence their artwork. And then when they get back to the studio, they're able to really feed off their notes and their sketches and all the recordings that they have, and they're able to make these artworks, which I think are really special because they're invested in them. And I think it shows, I think.
There was this hill, I think it was at Monomoy, and I really liked it because the beach was really long and there were a lot of these hills and they're all really uniform with each other. And I thought it was really cool how nature kind of repeats itself. There was this line between the sky and the clouds, and it was really distinct, and I hadn't really seen something like that before. And I had kind of trouble putting that into my art, but I really wanted to.
For my zoom out, I did a giant dead tree, and that was more of a faraway picture of more of the perspective of the land. And then for the zoom in, it was more of an up close picture of an object. For this piece, my bird, which was a sharp-shinned hawk, we were at a sanctuary with a bunch of stuffed animals, and for this piece that's where I got my idea, but then for the background I took it out of my head.
My painting is of sort of the edge of water meeting the land, and I'm inspired by the red maple swamp, which is where we went on our school excursion. It was a really beautiful day out, and the reflection of the sky in the water really took me, and I wanted to try and capture that. And I took reference photos and then came back to school and painted it.
I actually did not end up being able to go on the trips. I didn't want to miss math. And however, I was scrolling through the computer, looking through the beautiful pictures that they took on the field trips, and I found this frog. And I thought, wow, this is such an interesting picture. It's so zoomed in, and you can see so many details of the slime and the texture of the frog. And I was intrigued, and I wanted to create life in a picture. And it was my first colored pencil piece ever, and it's probably my favorite.
I love doing the journals. I just did mine in pen and watercolor because it's very fun just to slap some drawings to then be able to put some just easy color on top of it. So there's a huge difference between looking at pictures of things and writings to actually being there and experiencing it. It's a completely different feel. I'm just really lucky to live in a place like this, and we can be such inspired artists from the things that are right outside of our doors.